In the naval battles of the Pacific Theater during World War II, one ship type became a rising star: the aircraft carrier. The Japanese and US navies clashed and changed history by pitting their CVs against each other. It was a battle of design, engineering, and tactics, and two rivals stood out: Shōkaku versus Yorktown. Let's decide which one deserves the crown. Yorktown was the lead ship of a three-ship carrier class that included the legendary Enterprise and fierce Hornet. She symbolized the revolutionary spirit of American liberation during the Battle of Yorktown back in 1781. Shokaku was also the first ship of her class, which also included her sister ship Shōkaku. Her name means soaring crane. You gotta love that. Points for poetic beauty. Yorktown was built under the limitations of the Washington and London naval treaties. This meant every ton of her displacement and armor, every weapon and piece of equipment, and her capacity for larger aircraft groups had to strictly conform to the tight treaties' limitations. Yorktown had one experimental innovation to design: her hangar deck catapult, which turned out to be fairly useless, so much so that it was removed. So, no points for that. To save on displacement tonnage, the ship's design packed her 3 boilers and 4 engine rooms in the tight line. When all this set was stuffed in one place, a single well-aimed torpedo could knock out most of the ship's power. Not ideal. Unlike the USA, Japan had limited resources, so they went all in with the practical and risk-mitigating design of their ships. What's more, Shokaku was built after the treaties were abandoned. As a result, she had notable armor protection, especially compared to other American carriers. This enabled her to sustain serious damage and stay afloat. However, the soaring crane had an Achilles heel. Her fuel tanks were integrated into the hull, a common Japanese pre-war design practice. Battle experience showed that this causes uncontrolled leaks, dangerous fumes, and fires. The designers tried to fix this flaw by filling the empty space surrounding the tanks with cement. Spoiler, it didn't work. Overall, both ships had modern design. True, Yorktown had her limitations, while Shokaku had better armor, but she also had a deadly design flaw. Let's call this round a tie. Yorktown could carry 90 aircraft and hosted various types throughout her service: scout planes, fighter planes, torpedo bombers, and dive bombers. We're gonna highlight the Douglas SBD Dauntless, the SBD-3, as they had self-healing fuel tanks to make them more durable against enemy fire. Another clever American innovation was the foldable wings integrated into the Grumman F4F4 Wildcat and TBD Devastator fighter aircraft designs. This allowed carriers to do the carrying part even better and hold more planes. On the Midas side, in the beginning stages of the war, Yorktown's torpedo bombers were far from great. We're talking about a TBD Devastator. What's worse, they wielded the faulty M13 torpedoes, which often failed to detonate. As a result, the aircraft performed poorly and rarely landed a hit. Shokaku, on the other hand, could operate with 72 aircraft and 12 spare planes. These were overall better combat aircraft at the start of the war, and as a significant plus, were manned by seasoned pilots. Her carrier air wing included swift and long-reaching Mitsubishi A6M0, a fighter plane that caused the Allies many problems. She also carried efficient torpedo bombers with powerful torpedoes. Though Yorktown possessed versatility, Shokaku gets more awesome points as her torpedoes would often resolve battles. The two most prominent officers behind the Yorktown service were Elliot Buckmaster, captain of the ship, and Admiral Frank Jack Fletcher, commander of the ferocious Task Force 17, which sank several ships. Admiral Fletcher used Yorktown as flagship during the Battle of the Coral Sea. For bonus points, Eleanor Roosevelt was the godmother of Yorktown and christened the ship herself. Legendary Admiral Chuichi Nagumo led the First Air Fleet, Japan's main carrier battle group, which included Shokaku, in the attack on Pearl Harbor. He used Shokaku as flagship during the Battle of the Santa Cruz Islands. Yorktown-class ships were the superstars of the early stages of World War II, as they kept charging into battles and pulled no punches. Yorktown was involved in the offensive in the Marshall's Gilberts and later the Lake Salamoa raids. She was also in the Battle of the Coral Sea and Battle of Midway, where she fought alongside her sisters Enterprise and Hornet. It's there where she met her demise. During the Battle of the Coral Sea, she sank destroyer Kikuzuki and 3 minesweepers while damaging 4 other ships. She also helped sink light aircraft carrier Shōkaku, and she even inflicted heavy damage to her rival Shokaku. Talk about a catfight. Technically, Yorktown missed only one important battle, Pearl Harbor. She was stationed in Atlantic, which was a blessing in disguise. Had she been there, the war may have lasted much longer. Yorktown was sunk by a torpedo attack during the Battle of Midway, a heavy blow for the Allies, and her support was sorely missed in the battles to come. The First Air Fleet, also known as Kido Butai, employed innovative strategies for aircraft carriers, and Shokaku was a proud member of this group. She was one of the carriers leading the attack on Pearl Harbor and later the attack on Rabaul in the Indian Ocean raids. The Soaring Crane fought in the Battle of the Coral Sea, Battle of the Eastern Solomons, Battle of the Santa Cruz Islands, and the Battle of the Philippine Sea, where she was sunk. Shokaku dealt considerable damage to the Yorktown sister ships. She was instrumental to the sinking of Hornet, and she also made a considerable blow against the Enterprise. The Soaring Crane helped in the sinking of the USS Lexington, and she damaged USS South Dakota. Shokaku and her sister Shōkaku only missed one important battle, Midway. As a result, Japan fought with 4 aircraft carriers instead of 6, improving the odds in favor of the Allies. Alright, we've stacked them up against each other, and oh boy, this is a tough one. The superior aircraft carrier is...
Hello. We want to stress that this is our opinion, not the ultimate verdict. You're welcome to disagree, and please leave your insights in the comments. Okay? Okay. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.
Shokaku! We praise Shokaku as the superior ship over Yorktown, but regardless, these 2 ships remain legendary carriers of World War II.